How to be stupid. Don't be responsible. Welcome to part 2 of a 4-part series on how to be stupid. How am I defining being stupid? Simply put, you're stupid when you don't do what you know you ought to do. Last week I talked about how stupid people don't sacrifice. Right now we're going to talk about responsibility. Let's begin. Buggity, buggity, buggity! Want to take a simple test to see if you're mature? No? Well, we're going to take it anyway. When you hear the word responsibility, does it bring a negative or positive thought? If it brought positive thoughts, then congratulations, pat yourself on the back because you're mature. As a boy, the question of manhood and what it was constantly came up. I knew I needed to be a man, but manhood was ill-defined. It wasn't until I moved out of my parents' home and got married that I realized what manhood was. Rather, I actually realized what adulthood was. Here it is. Adults assume responsibility. There is a nearly undetectable shift that happens somewhere between childhood and adulthood. This shift is from immaturity to responsibility. Responsibility means that you no longer assume that someone else is responsible for you. Not your parents, not your educational institution, your friends, or even your government. You are responsible for you. Society's noticed that this shift has been happening for a long time, yet it seems like nobody's really that upset about it.
You're a real card, Reed!
I was completely shocked that I was still eligible for my dad's health insurance after graduating university, being married, and being 25 years old.
Your 25th birthday, which is now approaching, marks your complete independence.
It's almost like society's allowing oversized children to coast through life.
Oh, Mr. Magoo. McGee. Oh, McGee. Yes, Magoo.
So how do you gain responsibility? The answer to that question 50 to 100 years ago would have been find a career, buy a house, get married, have kids, and invest for retirement.
Let me lock in that trade right now and get back.
Generally speaking, people don't have a career anymore. They can't afford a house until their early 30s. They don't get married until their late 20s. They don't have kids until their early 30s. And they're drowning in debt. What the heck? We need a new benchmark for adulthood and responsibility. If you're in your 20s and you don't want to be immature and you want to find responsibility, then what you need to do is assume responsibility for something. Assume responsibility for an ideal that transcends you. And here's one solution. Assume responsibility for a long-term task that is bigger than you. Ask for more leadership in your current job to the point where people seriously depend on you. Volunteer a significant amount of time to a cause that others rely on.
Volunteer of the year!
Do something bigger than yourself. Nothing will mature you quicker than being responsible for others. Please don't be stupid. Be responsible. Now, if you liked what you saw, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment below in one practical way that you've learned how to be responsible, or one way that you want to shoot towards to gain responsibility. Next week, we're going to talk about how to be stupid, don't love. See you next week.